Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Salsabila Atika binti Najmin. My metric number is 146453, and today our group is going to present about a short story written by Ernest Hemingway titled Hills Like the White Elephant. So today we are going to discuss about the language that is used in the text by paying particular attention to its nouns, adjective, verbs, adverbs, and figure of speech, and also the effects that they help to create. I am the first presenter for today, and I'm going to present about nouns. So, the author, which is Hemingway, opens the story with the description of the place using nouns modified by definite article. By doing so, the author suggests that the setting is familiar for the narrator. This paragraph, which is the first paragraph, contains the cataphoric reference since the use of the in the first sentence implies known or given noun, and there are no preceding sentences showing that the first appearance of the word, so it points readers' attention forward in the text. So noun. A noun is a word that names something, such as a person, place, thing, or idea. In a sentence, nouns can play the role of subject, direct object, indirect object, subject complement, appositive, or adjective. For example, from the text, the first one is the hills across the valley of the Ebro were long and wide. Nouns here is Ebro. Ebro means a river in Spain that flows into the Mediterranean. So here, the author is trying to give information to readers that this story took place in Spain. Second example is the station was between two lines of rails in the sun. Nouns here are station and rails. It trying to tell the readers that this story took place at train station. Third example, the American and the girl with him sat at a table in the shade outside the building. So nouns here are American and girl. We can conclude that American here is a guy because the pronoun that replaced the American is him. Next, it was very hot and the express from Barcelona would come in 40 minutes. Nouns here are express and Barcelona. Express here means a train. So the author is trying to tell the readers that this couple is waiting for a train from Barcelona because the next sentence, it stopped at this junction for 2 minutes and went to Madrid. Nouns here is Madrid. So the couple is going to take a train from Barcelona because they want to go to Madrid. The next is big ones. A woman asked from the doorway. A woman here means the woman who works at the bar. Next, dos cervezas. The man said into the curtain. Dos cervezas means 2 beers in Spanish. So the readers are trying to confirm that this story took place in Spain because the man speaks in Spanish. The last one is they look like white elephants. The nouns here is elephant. So here, the author is trying to make the readers wonder what does it mean when she said that they look like white elephants. What does elephants mean in this context? So the effectiveness of nouns here is to capture abstract ideas, give more information, make a text relevant, interesting, and easy to read, and also it points readers' attention forward in the text.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Dr. Rashidi and my fellow friends. My name is Rahina Yasmin binti Ahmad Kushairi and my metric number is 148053. I will continue today's presentation where I will be explaining about the adjectives and the effects of the adjectives in the story. Okay, as we all know, adjectives are words that modify or describe other words, usually nouns and pronouns. But before I explain more about the effects of the adjectives in the story, let's take a look at the list of adjectives here. Okay. As you can see here, I've highlighted all the adjectives that I find from the text, and if you notice, most of the adjectives here are descriptive adjective. But here, why I highlight this word with a yellow color is because it can be classified as a numerical adjective. Okay, so why there are so many adjectives in a story? What effects do this adjective create in the story? Okay, firstly, adjectives give more details and information about something, about the noun or the pronoun in the story. Adjective also makes a writing to be more specific, relevant, and coherent. It makes the story to be more clearer because it sheds more light on the characteristics of something or the thing that is being described in the story. Adjective also help the readers to form image in their mind while they are reading. It makes the story to be more effective because the readers can easily imagine what is going on in the story. It gives a precise image in our mind about the situation or whatever the narrator is telling about the story. Okay, so for example, the words long and wide here explain more about the hills across the valley. These two words somehow give us image. It helps us to create an image about what the hills look like. Okay, the word close against the side of the station. The word close here tell us where the story took place. It took place near a station. Okay, next the words such as warm, very hot, pretty hot. It gives us idea about the atmosphere or the weather in the story. Maybe it was very sunny, so it was very hot, things like that. Okay, as you can see here, I did not highlight the word pretty because in this context, the word pretty does not work as an adjective, but instead it works as an adverb. I won't be explaining more about this because my friend Rihanna will talk more about adverb later. Okay, if you have read the whole story, you will know the word big here actually refers to the bears. From the previous sentence, very hot, pretty hot, we know that the weather was hot. So the characters need a large amount of drink, and that is why they order a big sized beer. Other than that, this sentence here actually gives the reader another idea about what is really going on. It somehow creates assumptions. Usually, people will drink alcoholic beverage when they are having rough days or problems. So the word big here gives us hint or idea of what the characters are feeling or what they are dealing with in the story. The word big here is very important because it tells us that the characters are actually facing some serious matter or problems. They did not drink a normal sized beer, but they drink a big one. Maybe simply because it was very hot, or maybe because they are facing some serious problem, so they want to forget about the problem for a while. So that is why they order a big size beer, not a small one, not a regular one. Okay, so we can see here that the word big gives us more information and somehow create or give us idea about what is going on in the story. So basically, adjectives are very important because it affects how the readers feel when they are reading the story. It helps the readers to create image in their mind to understand the story. Adjectives create understanding of the story. It somehow helps the readers to immerse with the story. Okay, so that is why there are so many adjectives in a story because it helps the readers to understand the story better. Okay, I think that will be all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Hello and a very good morning to Dr. Rashidi and my fellow friends. My name is Nur Fatin Arisha binti Mat Said with metric number 147020. Today I will be presenting about verb and the effectiveness of verb in the short story Hills Like White Elephant written by Ernest Hemingway. First of all, what is verb? Verb refers to a word or group of words that expresses an action, an event, or a state. Verb forms the main part of the predicate of a sentence. Here are some verb examples from the text. The first one is, the American and the girl with him sat at a table. Second one, eat, which refers to the express, stopped and went to Madrid. The girl asked. She had taken off her hat and put it on the table. Let's drink, the man said. The woman brought. I have never seen wine. The man drank. And the last one is, doesn't prove anything. Overall, the author uses strong verb in forming the sentences by using active form instead of passive form. What can verb do in a sentence? The first one, verb can set the scene. From the text that we had to analyze, the verb that the author uses tell us about the scene, such as where the characters are at and what they are doing. Verbs can also help the audience or readers to imagine what is going on during one particular scene. Second one, verb can also build the characters. The way that the author uses the verb to describe what the subject does can tell us many things about the characters. For example, when the girl asked what should they drink to the man just ordered 2 big beers without confirming with the girl if that's the drink she wanted. The girl didn't reply to the man. That might show us that the girl is really obedient and she just follows what the man says. Next, verb make the writing much simpler in multiple ways. Using verbs forms shorter sentences. Shorter sentences are easier to follow and they give more impact to the audience. It also proves a point in which we know exactly what action is taking place and what the subjects are doing. Also, verb draws immediate attention of the audience because it's easier to understand. Using verb is also persuasive since the readers can relate to the actions of the characters. In conclusion, there can be no sentences without the presence of verbs, so verb is a very important element when writing a story. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello and good day to Dr. Rashidi and to all my fellow friends. My name is Rihanna Rikalim, matrix number 148592, and I will be presenting about adverbs. So what is the definition or meaning of an adverb? An adverb is a word that modifies or describes a verb, an adjective, another adverb, or even a whole sentence. Adverbs can come either before or after the word they're modified. Adverbs typically express manner, place, time, frequency, degree, or level of certainty. Now, an adverb typically answers the questions how, in what way, when, where, or to what extent. Now, from my analysis, adverbs does not appear that frequently in the short story Hills Like White Elephants, but here are some examples that I found. Number 1 is the American and the girl with him sat at a table in the shade outside the building. The adverb here is outside. This adverb indicates place. Number 2, it was very hot and the express from Barcelona would come in 40 minutes. The adverb here is very, and the adverb very indicates degree. Number 3, what should we drink? The girl asked. She had taken off her hat and put it on the table. The adverb for this sentence is should. Now the adverb here indicates a level of certainty. Number 4, it's pretty hot, the man said. Now in this context, pretty here is an adverb for the adjective hot. So for this sentence, this adverb indicates degree. Now what effects do adverbs create? So for number 1, it describes how things appear and how things happen. Number 2, it gives readers a more vivid description of the scene. Number 3, it intensifies the meaning of the word that it is modifying. It does this by putting more or less emphasis on the word. It also amplifies the meaning of the word, or it can also tone down the feeling of the word. Reverting back to our examples that we got from the text. So for number 1, the American and the girl with him sat at a table in the shade outside the building. So from this adverb here, it gives the readers a more vivid description of the scene. So as a reader, we can see that the action is being held outside of a building. So it gives the readers a better understanding of how the scene is going on in the short story. So for number 2, it was very hot and the express from Barcelona would come in 40 minutes. So for the writer, instead of just saying it was hot, he wrote it was very hot instead. In my analysis, this describes how things appear in the short story. The adverb very describes the adjective hot. It shows an emphasis of how hot the weather is during the day that the girl and the American were waiting for the express from Barcelona to arrive. We can imagine that the weather was hotter than usual, hence why the adverb very was included. Number 3, what should we drink? The girl asked. She had taken off her hat and put it on the table. So the adverb should here shows a kind of affirmation. It describes how things appear in the short story. Based on the short story, if we read it as a whole, it shows that the girl is a more submissive character. As we can see from this sentence, what should we drink? The girl is asking for affirmation or opinion from the American on what should she drink instead of just ordering her own drink. As a whole, we can actually make the conclusion that the American is definitely a more dominating character who has authority, whose opinions and thoughts matter to the girl. Hence why the adverb should here shows a level of certainty or affirmation in the short story. Number 4, it's pretty hot. So example number 4 is quite similar to example number 2. In this context, the adverb pretty is used to amplify or to intensify the weather for that day. This shows how things appear in the scene. The adverb pretty is used to amplify or to intensify the weather for that day. This shows that during the day that the girl and the American was traveling, it was indeed quite humid and hot. That is all for my part on the adverbs that could be found in hills like white elephants. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, a very good day to Dr. Rashidi and my fellow classmates. My name is Lisha. My matrix number is 147344. And today I'm going to explain on my part, Simile, from the short story Hills Like White Elephants. So simile is actually a kind of figurative language where it mostly uses the word as and like like. Right, so simile mostly provide comparison between two things to provide a more descriptive information. For example, as brave as a lion, as brave as a lion. We all know lion is the king of animals and of course it's very brave. So if a person says she is as brave as a lion, which also compares her bravery to a lion's. So it means that she is a person who is very, very, very brave. Alright, so the simile that I found in this short story, specifically the excerpt that Dr. Rashidi gave, I only found one simile, which is the title itself, Hills Like White Elephants. So, what's a white elephant? Actually, white elephant has a meaning. A white elephant means something that you possess, which is very useless, not useful, unwanted, and the thing is very hard to dispose and very hard to get rid of, right? So, alright, so based on the definition given by Oxford Dictionary, as you can see where I wrote there, white elephant has a meaning of a possession which has no purpose, most likely useless, and is costly and hard to dispose. However, heels, in my opinion, I think heels kind of symbolizes a pregnant lady's bump on the stomach. So heels like white elephants is it's like trying to compare pregnancy with white elephant because some people think pregnancy is very troublesome, of course, and some people think that pregnancy is something that they don't want or it's an accident and so on. So this title here, Heels Like White Elephants, it summarizes the whole short story actually. The baby that isn't what the couple wanted, right? And the effectiveness of this simile in a short story is where I explain this now in the context of the short story. White elephants are used to represent the unwanted pregnancy and the difficulties of the couple to dispose of the baby and the child. Like when the American man asks the girl to um do an operation, which he didn't say what operation, but he said operation. And when the girl, she doesn't feel like she wanted to, and at last, and the girl finally said that she is okay when the American man asked her if are you okay, and she just said, yeah, I'm okay. So it's quite a journey for someone to who wanted to go such a operation. And to me, this is one of the simile that could be found in the excerpt, Heels Like White Elephants, where the pregnancy is something actually that they didn't want to, and it's very hard to dispose. They don't know what to do with it. They are thinking yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. So that's all from me. Thank you.
A very good day to Dr. Rashidi and my fellow friends. I'm Ishimin. My matrix number is 1455 at 9. I'm a second year TESOL student. Today, I will be present on metaphor that can be found in the short story Heels Like White Elephants by Ernest Hemingway, and the effectiveness of the metaphor in this short story. Before going to the topic today, I will explain what is the meaning of metaphor. Metaphor says one thing is another thing. Metaphor equals two things, not because they are actually the same, but for the sake of comparisons or symbolism. So, metaphor is a literary device that imaginatively draws a comparison between two unlike things. For example, time is money. Time and money are two different things, but why they put together? They put together because the time is as precious as money. So this is an example for metaphor. In this short story, Heels Like White Elephants, metaphor can be found in this short dialogue. From this short dialogue, they are discussing about heels like white elephants apparently, but actually they are discussing about pregnancy. Hemingway used metaphor throughout the story. The metaphor is used to express the character's opinions and feeling. So from here, metaphor is used to display the differences in the way a man and a girl view pregnancy. The girl pregnancy is implied through conversations. The girl said, "The hills look like white elephants." Actually, she is comparing the hills to her own situations, which is pregnancy. Actually, the hills are not really look like white elephants. They are lovely hills. The hills have their own beauty. This is same as pregnancy. So we can know that the girl view pregnancy as a beautiful aspect of life. But the man view pregnancy just opposite. When the girl said, hills look like white elephants, and she agreed with the man that he never seen one. The man response is, "I might have, just because you say I wouldn't have doesn't prove anything." This shows that the defensive of nature of a man. And when the girl said, "No, you wouldn't have," actually implied that the man is unable to differentiate what is really beautiful and what is not. So from here we can know that there is a different views between the man and the girl on pregnancy. So this is the example of metaphor that I can found in this short dialogue. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi and a very good day to Dr. Rashidi and all my fellow friends. My name is No Adriana binti Muhammad Zahuri with matrix number 148463. I am the last presenter of my group and I will be presenting about symbolism based on the passage given of Hills Like White Elephants by Ernest Hemingway. Firstly, what is symbolism? Symbolism is a literary device that uses symbols to represent something beyond the literal meaning. For example, the colors of our national flag, which are red, that represents strength, white, that represents peace and honesty, yellow, which is the color of our royal family, and lastly, blue, which represents unity. Moving on, there are actually many symbols that can be identified throughout the whole story, but I will point out the noticeable ones based on the passage given. Firstly, the symbol of land, which represents loneliness and alienation, which is the feeling of being separated from others or society. This can be seen with the author's usage of sentences like "no shade and no trees" or "brown and dry," which describes the atmosphere of the couple's location. The story feels as though it was taken part at a deserted place or the desert itself due to the description of literal dryness of the landscape, which sense the loneliness and alienation of the man and woman's feeling whether towards each other or based on their current situation. Next, the symbol of alcohol can clearly be seen based on the passage given. The man and woman ordered beers for themselves to drink. As we all know, alcohol is one of the source of relief towards many society. It is like a temporary break from one's real life problems. The man and woman's desire to drink the beers due to the hot weather can also represent the complications of the relationship that they are currently having. Therefore, the alcohol can represent like a brief relief of avoidance and chance to lose oneself. Furthermore, the symbol of the train station or railroad tracks. In this passage, the couple waited at the train station for their destination to Madrid. This stop can represent as a pause to think of their decision. The author also mentioned in the passage with sentences like "between two lines of rails in the sun." This can also present that the couple need to make a decision or to choose the right path to take on to their next destination. So when they leave for their next destination, it shows that where their relationship will go from now on.
So basically, the train station is like a stop to make a right decision. Lastly, the symbol of white elephants. The woman mentioned in the passage that the hills look like white elephants, like the title itself. If we read the passage without interpreting the overall story, we might just think that the couple is actually talking about random white elephants. But there's actually a deeper meaning than that, as we know that the white elephants actually represent pregnancy that the woman is currently having. But how does it relate to their situation? In terms of physical, hills are rounded like elephants, but also similar to bellies of a pregnant woman. In other terms, the meaning is beyond that. White elephants are very rare and is considered as a portent or sign of something important about to happen. For example, the birth of Buddha, where his mother dreamt of a white elephant. However, the phrase of white elephants is an idiom for an unwanted gift. So, in this passage of the story, it can signify that one of the couple does not want the bearing child, and most likely to be the American man due to his statement at the ending of the passage where the couple bickered for a bit. So, what is the effectiveness of symbolism and how the symbols affect the whole story? It is to give readers a visual picture on what the author is trying to deliver. Readers can imagine the story's plot as they read to feel a realistic atmosphere. It is also to understand the overall meaning of the story. For example, the title itself, which is Hills Like White Elephants. If we don't analyze the story further, we actually don't know the real definition of white elephants that the author is portraying. Lastly, to make readers think while they interpret the author's text. Readers need to analyze the story deeper than they think to have a better understanding of the whole story. That is all from me. Thank you. That is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening and we hope you enjoyed it. Bye!